What's going on, everybody? Back with another video, and today we're going to talk about the Wii Virtual Console. Now, at the time of this recording, as you can see on the screen, today is January 29th, and as of January 30th, the Wii Virtual Console is going to be no more. The only way you're going to obtain some of these games that are that's only exclusive to the Wii console is basically doing a homebrew hack, or you can find someone who has a Wii that already has this stuff on it. Now, for me, there were some games that I got earlier, and I have them on my Wii right now, and we're going to talk about those, as well as what does this mean for the Wii Shop channel. Now, as you can see, I'm about to go into it now, and you're going to basically see what they're talking about as far as there'll be no reason, or no, I'm not saying no reason, you won't be able to purchase or use your points after the 30th. So if you have any points still left on your account, I advise you to go ahead and use them, and if you can afford any of the games, because I know some people may have like 400 or 100 points, and for me, I don't have any. Here's the reminder right here saying the Wii Shop closes January 30th. And basically, this is what it says. It says, "Dear Nintendo fans, as previously announced, the Wii Shop channel will close for good January 30th, 2019. The ability to add points was removed last year, but if you still have any Wii points and wish to spend them, you must do so before January 30th. If you have any questions, go see Q&A, yada, yada, yada." Now, like I said, I don't have any Wii points, and I'm pretty sure there's other videos out there that can tell you exactly what games that are on here that you will be missing. But for me, I'm just going to talk about the games I do have, and we can just discuss those. So let's go ahead and back out of the Virtual Console, and we're going to look at some games that I have. The storage on the Wii console, it's okay, but it's somewhat limited, so I put most of my games on the SD card. Now, the games I do have on my Wii storage is Lords of Thunder. I also have Mega Man 10, and I have Mega Man 9. Now, it's easy to get these two games. I have them for the PS3. I also have them on my PS4 with the Mega Man Legacy Collection. Lords of Thunder is a PC Engine game, fairly hard to get if you don't have a TurboGrafx 16 or a PC Engine. Most of those games are expensive as it is. So let's go into the SD card, and I'll let you know what games I have on my SD card. Now, from here you'll see where I have Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels, which is actually Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, and here's the other Mario 2 that we got in the States. And we all know was probably one of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario Brothers 3. I also have Metroid, I have Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3. I have this game here. It's called Bokupa Uta. It's a Japanese platformer that's on the Famicom, where you play as a baby, and you basically find your way through the game with using a baby. I haven't finished the game, but I thought it'd be fairly interesting to get before the Wii Shop closed, so I did get that. Also, I got Super C. We all know what that is. Contra. I love Contra. It's one of my favorite titles. There's Contra 3, Super Metroid. I also have Wild Guns, which is another great game. Legend of Zelda, another great game. Axelay. This game is actually pretty tough to get, so I didn't get a physical copy of this one. So what I did was I got it on the Virtual Console. And Do-Re-Mi Fantasy, which is another platformer that was only released in Japan for the Super Famicom. I got around to play that a little bit. It's okay. I enjoy it, but I haven't really finished it. Now, over here you have the Sega Genesis and Master System games. One thing I do not like about this per se is you can't use like Sega Genesis controllers, so you have to use like the Wii Pro console. the Wii Pro controller, or like I don't know if people don't know this, but you can actually use like the you can actually use the the NES or the SNES Classic controllers for these games. Absolutely. Like you can use, like for the Master System, they're very similar to an NES controller. So I use the NES controller, and also for the TurboGrafx games as well, because they're fairly similar as well. Now with the Genesis games, you're just out of luck. So, but anyway, these are the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 for the Master System are not the same as the Sega Genesis versions of these games. So I mean, I don't have a Master System, so I actually thought this would be pretty neat to get these two games. Also, Postman and Alien Soldier, these are two games that are fairly sought after, but they're not easily to come by. I think Alien Soldier was released in Europe and Japan, and Postman was also the same way. Now Musha, I have a physical copy of this game. The problem with this game is, at the time I did not have Musha, so I thought for $5 or $6 it was a no-brainer to get it on here. But now recently I do have a real copy of that game. Blades and Lasers, another great PC Engine TurboGrafx game. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, a very good port as well. Gate of Thunder is similar to Lords of Thunder, the game we talked about earlier. I do have that. Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Now, I think you can get this game on PS4 now with the Castlevania Requiem. I think that's how you, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can get that with Symphony of the Night on PS4 now. But if you want to get the original version, the easiest way possible or the most convenient way possible was through the Virtual Console. But now, you know, the Virtual Console will be no more. It's going to be very hard to get this game. The original version of this game goes for over $100 for the PC Engine, let alone you having to need a PC Engine CD console. So yeah, my best bet right now is just go ahead and get it on PS4. Superstar Soldier and Final Soldier, two other good shooters to have. I'm a big fan of shoot 'em up games, spaceship shooters, so I had to get those two as well. Now over here, these are my Nintendo 64 games. Cruising USA was a game I loved as a child growing up. And well, I ain't gonna say as a child, I mean, goodness, I was a teenager at the time, but I still loved the game. And I didn't have a physical copy of that, so I got it at the time. But playing N64 games on a Wii is quite challenging. I'm never used to the controls. You can use a GameCube controller, but it's not the same. Sin and Punishment. Now I got this game as well because I didn't have a physical copy of it. I recently got one of probably about 3-4 months ago. This game you must use a N64 controller for. I mean, you can use the controllers that are on the Wii, but N64 controller all the way. But I managed to get accustomed to it, but it's just not the same. Star Fox 64, I don't have a physical copy of that, so I got that. Now these two games. Now there's a third game to this, which is Gradius Rebirth, which I'm not a big fan of Gradius, so I didn't care for it. But Contra Rebirth and Castlevania Rebirth, two fantastic games that sadly will probably never see the light of day on another marketplace, because Konami is Konami, and these games here are they're very good. And I just don't see these games being put back out. I mean, the WiiWare itself had a lot of games that are just exclusive to the Wii Virtual Console, and like I said, as of the 30th, you won't be able to see these games anymore, and it quite sucks. So like I said, at the end of the day, that's what we're up against when something like this happens. Now when you look at this as in general, what are your thoughts? Because the Wii U Virtual Console is possibly going to be the next to go, because the Wii U console has pretty much been abandoned by Nintendo. Actually surprised that the servers are still up for you can go in and buy that. You know, buy those games off of that platform, because the Wii was way more popular than the Wii U. So with the Wii U not being as popular, I would think that it would be no more. But it's still there, but that could be the next one gone. Now, you also could talk about what other consoles? The PS3. That could be another one that could be going by the wayside. The 360, even though the 360 is a little more intertwined with the Xbox ecosystem, that still could be another one that could go by the wayside. So let me know what your thoughts about this. I mean, this is a big deal for some people. I managed to get the games that I want. I'm good as far as it closing down, but for some people, digital games are, they have a life shelf. I mean, I know CD games do too, but I talked about that in the previous video, but it is a weird feeling to know that there are some games that you may not be able to pick up anymore, like the Rebirth series that I just talked about. There's other games, like you look at the TurboGrafx 16 games that are on here. Those games aren't around for you to just pick up and play. I think the closest thing to that is the PlayStation 3 PlayStation Network. Now, with that being said, that's only in Japan that you can get some PC Engine games, which I probably will talk about at another time. Anyway, what do you think about these services? They have a life shelf. They could be closed sometime soon. So with that being said, it could be a situation where some of these games that you have that are obtainable will not be attainable anymore. So let me know what you guys think. Just give me some feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys take care.